Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Today I'll be giving you as good a guide as I possibly can for the Zetsubou no Shima Doppelganger Easter egg, also known as the Zetsubou no Shima jump scare. I want to start this off by saying that we didn't have to hold square on anything to get this to activate. We didn't have to wait for the red test subjects, for example, either, or any of the hallucinations actually whatsoever. We didn't have to do any of that. You also don't need to worry about ending the round or anything like that. You can do it just fine at the end of a round with one zombie left. That's exactly what I did in my game. I held off on posting the steps straight away, straight off the bat, just because it didn't look like people had the full picture, and as far as I'm aware, a lot of the steps that are being posted right now are kind of redundant, so this is as bare bones as it gets. In my opinion, the easiest and most efficient way for you to get your sniper that you'll need in order to do this Easter egg is to complete the Tier 2 trial in the Skull's altar area. So go over to that area, right, and look at the central trial that you've got to do, not the top, not the bottom, the middle one. It'll be, for example, kill 20 zombies while underwater, or kill 20 zombies with a plane trap, something like that. It'll be one of those trials. You're going to want to complete that trial and then come back over to that area where the altar is located, and you'll be able to get your reward, which is a weapon. And if you get, for example, a dingo from the altar, it will float into the air. You can just let it sink back down, and then you can hit the button to get your reward again when you go over to those symbols, and eventually, if you keep cycling through guns, you're guaranteed to get an SVG from the altar. And you can use that SVG to do this Easter egg. By the time you've completed that trial, there's a good chance that you'll have opened up the bunker, got the power on, all that sort of stuff. So all you need to do at this point is come into the room with the test subjects, okay? And it seems like the most efficient way to do this is to have your teammate hold a zombie or whatever, have them somewhere nice and far away so they don't get in the way of you, and aim down your sights, aim down the sights of your sniper rifle at the test subjects. Now, it seems like there is a bit of a knack to getting this to work. Specifically, it seems like if you aim down the sight and you look at the test subject, you hold your breath and you stay scoped in on it for a reasonable amount of time. I'm talking like 20, 30 seconds, something like that. And then if you look around you in the room, there is a chance that the doppelganger will have spawned. Now, it's very much possible that it won't spawn in, and there are a variety of reasons why that might be the case. You might be standing in the wrong place in the room. You might be looking at the wrong angle at the test subject. You might be not looking for long enough. There are so many different reasons and different factors coming into play here that you really have to just try it for a couple of minutes in order to get it to work effectively every time, certainly in my experience. So what I recommend you do, as my teammate Liam for the Winter is doing here in-game, he's looking at one of the test subjects, he's then looking around to see if it's spawning behind him or anything like that, and then when he sees that it's not, he's moving on to the next test subject, trying those, going back to the initial one, changing his position where he's standing, changing the angle he's looking at, going up and down the test subjects themselves, like going from its head to sort of its hands and then back up to its head, those sorts of things, and eventually the doppelganger will pop into the map somewhere, and then all you've got to do is go over to it, and it will basically jump at you and attack you and scare you. Now, your teammates won't be able to see it. It will just be you. In fact, we actually tried this out in my game. I was there with my teammate, Liam for the Winter, while he was scared by the doppelganger. And on my screen, there was nothing there at all, which was fairly amusing, to be honest, seeing Richtofen jump out of his skin at nothing. And I guess it goes to show as well that this is very much a hallucination rather than something like teleporting in or anything like that. It's literally just in the character's head. It's a little jump scare. And it's really probably one of the more finicky Easter eggs we've had in recent weeks with Zetsubou no Shima. It's the sort of thing that for some people just doesn't seem to work over and over again, and they keep trying and it just doesn't work out for them. But if that's happening to you, then my advice is to try it with an SVG that you've got from that Tier 2 trial that I mentioned at the start of the video, or maybe one that you've spawned in from a plant, something like that. Try it with one of those. Try increasing the amount of time you're looking at each test subject, because it seems like if you look for longer, there's a chance that it's nearer to you, the doppelganger itself, maybe, so that's worth trying out for sure, and generally just experiment with where you're standing in the room, what angle you're looking at the test subjects at, and things like that, and given enough time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that, you should get the doppelganger to spawn in. I know, guys, it's not massively satisfying when I say, just keep trying and it'll work, because I was trying this for an hour earlier today, and it didn't work, and I was trying it for several hours yesterday, and it didn't work. But at the end of the day, these jump scare Easter eggs have always been very specific, very precise in their need for you to be standing in the exact right spot, looking at the exact right angle, that sort of thing. So this honestly is just as clear as I can possibly make it. In fact, if you get stuck, I'll have some extra tips in the description down below to help you out even further if you do need more assistance. But other than that, I've given it a shot, guys. This has been a really, really difficult Easter egg to pin down and nail the steps for and explain nice and clearly just because of the fact that it's so elusive and it's so unclear. Treyarch really don't give you a lot of information. But anyway, before I wrap things up, I obviously want to say thank you to, I believe, CoD Zombies for posting his guide for this earlier today, which was very useful for figuring out exactly what was going on. Then also there was Musical Phoenix on Reddit and also YouTube, I believe, as well. Paul also yesterday. There have been several people that have come together and slowly but surely helped us build up a picture of what's going on here. So to each and all of you, thank you very much for your work for this. The community is grateful, I'm sure. And thank you guys for watching my video. I've been MrRoflWaffles. Hopefully this has been helpful. I've really tried to make it as clear as I possibly could, man. Fingers crossed you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.